This podcast may contain adult themes and triggering topics. Please be kind to yourself if you get triggered by what we discuss.
Also, this isn't a substitute for therapy or counseling. Please listen to the appendix at the end for some of our recommendations for resources that will help you find a qualified mental health care provider.
Now, we take you to a time in the near future where emotional abuse has been appropriately deemed a crime, and the survivors find a home to reclaim their lives and freedom. This is Haven, and these are the stories of the Reclaimers.
Persy, wait up.
Ashley, my goodness, you always look so pretty in your doctor garb.
Yeah? I like this coat. I feel like the red is such a cool switch. I was the last graduating class to have a white coat. Red is so my color.
You look so confident and powerful. I'm actually excited to be a fly on the wall today.
Yeah? Good. Pheeny told me about the Westlee speech from last week. He's really turned a corner about this whole thing. He's even sleeping again.
Oh my goodness, that's so great. I could feel something shift last time. Not sure if it was finally finding out that he was right and that I was keeping something from him.
No, it was finding out the reason why. You know how he is. He puzzles it all out to give people the benefit of the doubt. He's tried so hard to figure out what would have put that distance between you.
Ugh, I feel so bad about that. He doesn't deserve that. And I'm sorry to you too, Ashley. I can only imagine how difficult that was on your side.
I accept your apology. And it all makes sense now. Of course you can't say things without a security clearance. I just wish you'd told us about the clearance before.
I wish I could have.
The clearance level is that high that you can't even reveal there's a clearance? Intelligence is so dumb.
I'm sad he was hurt. I'm glad he feels better. He's radiating all this trust and light.
The light of 1,000 suns.
Hey, you remember.
Yeah. Actually, as he was telling me about this moment, I started to remember other things. Do you remember that one time you broke down in the lab?
Oh, wow. You remember that?
Persephone the Stoic crying over a statistical reporting error? Yeah, I'm going to remember something like that.
You were really sweet.
You weren't just my crush's best friend, Persy. You were the only junior to have a published paper. I wanted to get all your secrets out of you and figure out how you did it.
And did you get all my secrets out?
Not one bit. You're immune to my charms, right?
If somebody didn't have the hots for my best friend.
Oh, please. We all knew you were into... Wait, what was her name? That TA from biology?
Mariah Jude.
Mariah Jude. She liked you.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did. That day in the lab, she heard about it later and made me tell her every detail. She was so worried about you.
Wait,
and
she heard about it? People talked about it?
Well, yeah. Who was Daniel's other research assistant?
Helena.
Yeah. Helena gossiped about it everywhere.
Guess we know where the smear campaign started then, huh?
You look sad about that.
I regret that I didn't know Helena was another of his flying monkeys. She and I probably could have helped each other.
Pers, I want to tell you something. Pheeny said it might help you.
Yeah?
That day in the lab, the reason I've always remembered it is because you weren't the only one to break down like that over one of Professor Daniel's projects.
What?
You, Demi, Helena. All three of you had very similar reactions, and you were all his assistant at one point or another. I thought it was notable.
Trust the neurologist to find the pattern.
What was strangest to me was that all three of you said the same things in your breakdowns.
Like what?
You all said you should have been paying more attention, and then you got upset about being careless.
Whoa. Hold up. We said careless? All three of us?
Yes.
Ash, this changes a lot of things for me. Thank you.
Hey, maybe I can be the light of 1,000 suns too.
Oh, Ash, you already were. Anything I can do for you? You weren't even a little nervous. In fact, you seem kind of excited.
Daniel's is a really interesting head case.
Ah, so there's some science for you then.
Well, that and don't mess with my Persy. Oh, Westlee, Truman, over here.
Thanks, Ashley, for everything.
Oh, good. I wanted to show you this last piece my team found.
Did they figure it out?
No, we still have no idea.
No idea about what?
Why he wants Ashley.
Oh,
You think you know?
not for sure, but Sonia thinks it's about putting Pheeny off kilter.
Where is Pheeny?
He's with Sonia. He said they need to sit separate today.
What's she hiding?
Don't know?
Oh, yes, you do.
I know what she's not telling you, but I don't know what she's hiding.
And now you're going to tell me. Or I'm going to.
What? Reveal that you're a massive hypocrite, hide all the things for all the years?
Meh.
I guess now you can learn what it feels like for all of us to be kept in the dark.
She is a little light on that, empathy thing.
Punks.
Aw, Persy, you say the sweetest things.
And you've got nerves. You're practically broadcasting anxiety.
Well, in case you hadn't heard, there's this horrid narcissist ravaging the place I love most in the world.
Ah, I see. Daniels is best known for his attacks on trees and sundry other greenery.
Nice. Ashley bringing the heat with the sass.
All right, but seriously, Ashley, I think you've got the toughest job today. We have no idea why you're here, and you're up first.
What, is that you, Ashley? That's confidence I'm sensing. That's some pretty solid stuff. You got any of that to spare?
Sure do, hot stuff. You want to walk me in? Persy? Westlee?
Actually, Ashley, I need Truman for another minute. You've got Persy?
Ooh, I get Persy. Persy, you got me?
Hell yeah. I'll see you two in a minute.
Be right in. Sonia and you got everything in place?
Not yet, but it'll be done by the time she's called.
Okay, good. I wasn't worried about her before. I make it a point not to worry. However, Kari's case file and last week combined, they were a real blow.
Is that it? Something shifted and I couldn't tell what.
She's been cagey, bundle of nerves. Speaking of, you okay? Those nerves are spiking.
Yeah, a bit.
Focus on the prep we've done.
You really think they're calling me about the Advo training?
You've got to be prepared for it to be anything. But the good news is, we know that the thing that makes you squirm the most is how quickly you went from survivor to shadow Advo.
Yeah, that's true. And you think Daniels is going to know that?
Actually, that's a good point. I don't think he's had any interactions with you, beyond recordings of your training sessions.
About that, the recordings of my personal sessions with Pheeny, those are in evidence, right?
Yes.
Okay, I need to calm these nerves.
Focus on the process. That's the only thing that will help right now.
Okay, first, I answer truthfully, no matter what, just say the truth.
Yes. Remember, the fifth doesn't apply here, because none of this can incriminate you. So you're going to be compelled to answer.
Unless I can cite the Victims Advocacy Act.
That allows you to stay silent if it will endanger your emotional rights.
Yes. Examples of that include if I feel bullied or abused by the court officers involved, if I feel that revealing my identity as a victim would cause me or my family retaliation from a predator, or if I believe that I would be placing myself in mortal danger by answering.
Examples not included.
Believing that Daniels is a nozzle, and not wanting to answer because it might make Persy look bad.
Good. And if they bring up a recording of one of your victim sessions?
It will probably be strategically best for me to just agree that I'm the survivor in the scenario, but I don't have to do so legally or publicly.
Good. They can't make you identify yourself in your own session. However, they can play the recording and just not identify you. In any case, I think it'll throw Daniels off guard to have you just allow it. It will also give Gold and Everett a chance to help you offer rebuttals. Besides, I truly doubt he's going to attack you personally.
Yeah, I suspect this is about that case he's building that Percy's some kind of gaslighting abuser.
Silly narcissists. So blame-shifty.
You mentioned last week. How did Persy handle the experts?
Yeah, that wasn't good. My least favorite week in court ever. Daniels was exceptionally thorough in tying Percy's actions to an expert opinion.
That's awful.
It was. You know what amazes me about you, Truman? Your nerves are this high, but you're more worried about making sure Persy is okay.
Well, yeah. It could be that she's manipulated me to want to help her, being a known gaslighter and all.
Or it could be that you've got a giant heart and she's lucky to have you as a friend.
Thanks, Westlee. That means a lot.
One last thing before we go in.
Yeah?
You don't have to answer the questions as quickly as he wants you to. Take a breath. Take a drink. Ask for a moment to consult with me. Whatever you need to think. You don't have to go at their pace.
Okay, that's good. I like that. That helps.
Yeah, I learned that pace thing from some healing warriors I know.
Okay, I'm ready. Send me in, Coach.
You Hoosiers and your sports.
You want to know a secret?
What?
I don't even know what Hoosier means.
Does anyone?
Is Ashley okay?
Yeah, she thinks this is great fun.
Smarter, right?
What?
Wasn't that her mantra? That she's smarter than Daniels?
Oh, yeah. Let's both broadcast that to her.
Thank you for joining us today, Dr. Soleil.
Ah, you old sweetie. I would have joined you even if you hadn't sent me that little subpoena.
Is she allowed to talk like that?
Anyone else? Probably not. Ash, though? Watch them try to stop her.
Charming, Dr. Soleil. Our last rotation left off with Senator Gold, so I will yield my time to her.
Hello, Dr. Soleil.
Senator Gold, how's your sister?
Point of order, Chairman.
Hold your horses there, Senator Daniels. You'll get your turn.
Dr. Soleil, as refreshing as this is, I'll ask you to bear in mind that we're on the taxpayer dime right now.
Oh, absolutely. I just like to show a little civility. You Texans know about that, right?
I sure do, ma'am. But please refrain from questioning the committee members, all right?
Oh, of course. Back to you, Senator Gold.
Thank you. Please tell the committee how you know Dr. Colossi.
We met in college, mythology and literature class, I believe.
And since that time?
We became friends, and then pseudo-in-laws. I married her best friend.
So, would you say that you know Dr. Colossi pretty well?
I would not say that.
Oh?
I would say I know her really well.
All right, that works.
Why do you ask?
Oh, point of order, please. Rules of procedures.
Settle down.
Wait, is she doing this on purpose?
Yeah, Westlee gave her a tip or two about taking Grey Rock up a notch.
Like, ow.
If she feels like she can handle it, she needs to act like she wants to be here. She's glad to answer the questions, and ultimately that she'll comply with the procedures, but that she feels calm and in charge.
Dang. Go, Ashley.
Of course. I wouldn't dream of breaking procedure.
Thank you, Dr. Soleil. We appreciate your cooperation. Now, if we can...
Ooh, Daniels is mad.
Uh-oh.
No, it's good. He can't track his thoughts. He's so angry.
Narcissistic rage, huh?
This is funny. He didn't expect this at all. He's not getting any supply from her. He was thinking she'd be her college self. Well, this is very good for Persy, too.
It's nice to hear her laughing at him. This is a good win. Oh, bless my hot wife. We needed this.
Oh, you two are dreamy.
And your practice is located at Howard University Hospital?
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Soleil. I yield my time to Senator Daniels.
Thank you.
Dr. Soleil, I too thank you for being here.
You're welcome, Professor.
Dr. Soleil, I wanted to ask you about your association with Miss Colossi.
By all means, please do.
Over the course of your association with Miss Colossi, you were made aware of her ability to read people.
To what are you referring?
That is to say, you were made aware of her status as a heightened receptor?
Yes.
And were you ever made aware of any of her other gifts?
Gifts?
Remember, you are under oath, and as you are a hostile witness for the committee, the Empath Council is reading your deception levels.
You think I'd lie to an acknowledged officer of the Senate such as yourself?
Of course not, Dr. Soleil. I just know that for someone who isn't often called into an inquiry like this, the procedures can be confusing.
Well, that's so kind of you, but no, telling the truth, I'd hope that as a graduate of Harvard, the very institution that relied on your instruction in ethics while I was there, I've been educated as to the requirement to be truthful in every interaction.
Did I mention that I'm married to her?
Did I mention that she's my hero right now?
Of course you have the highest, most sterling of ethics, Dr. Soleil. Having taken my ethics class would certainly give you the expertise necessary to represent an exemplary practice of ethical behavior. Now back to the question. Are you aware of gifts beyond heightened empathy?
Such as...
Point of order.
Oh, Senator Everett, I'm just trying to understand. I don't know what Senator Daniels is asking about, and I'd like to be clear before I answer.
Of course. Senator Daniels, perhaps you should rephrase, or with the witness's hostile status, pursue a more direct line of questioning.
Of course. But I believe I'm over my time, so I yield to Senator Everett.
Thank you. Dr. Soleil, we've already established in the previous session recordings for survivor known as KH that Dr. Colossi is a heightened telepath. Would you agree that she demonstrates that telepathy with close friends and family?
Yes, I would.
And would you say that she uses it ethically?
Ethically? How?
Point of order, Chairman. Dr. Soleil is not established as an expert in ethics.
I believe you yourself just qualified her. Ethical expertise. With your statements about her completion of your class, you yourself used the word expertise. Right, Senator Daniels?
Of course, my class would qualify her to evaluate any situation through a lens of ethical outcomes, but...
Then we're agreed. Senator Everett, can we continue with this line of questioning?
Agreed. And to answer your clarifying question, Dr. Soleil, I'm referring to the guidelines to ethical advocacy that Dr. Colossi and Dr. Phoenix Soleil wrote for the Federal Reclamation Center's standard operating procedures and best practices.
Yes, I would say that Dr. Colossi abides by those codes when using her telepathy.
I yield my time to Senator Gold.
Has Dr. Colossi ever used her telepathy with you, Dr. Soleil?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, has she ever used it unethically?
Yes.
When was that?
The recordings involving the survivor known as KH seem to indicate she used her telepathy to read past the line of consent.
And this was unethical?
According to the best practices of the Federal Reclamation Center, it was.
And Dr. Colossi followed those same best practices in reporting her ethics violation?
From the recordings in evidence, it sounds like she did.
Thank you. I yield my time to Senator Daniels.
I would like to direct your attention to a debate group meeting your sophomore year of college. Do you recall a meeting when Miss Colossi was present as a leader of that group?
Yes.
Please tell us what happened at that meeting.
We met as a debate group. Dr. Colossi coached us to do better debating, and the meeting ended.
Were you approached by anyone after the meeting?
Yes.
Who?
My husband, Dr. Phoenix Soleil.
Ah, and what did he say?
He asked me out on a date, bless him.
I see. Did he say why he was asking you out?
Yes. He said his friend told him that I liked him.
Which friend?
Dr. Colossi.
And how did she know you liked him?
She read my thoughts during the debate group meeting.
She read your thoughts.
Yes.
While a leader of the group.
Yes.
And she told Dr. Soleil that he should ask you out.
Yes.
And were you surprised by the news that she read your thoughts?
Hells yes, I was.
You knew her before that night?
Yes.
And she never told you?
She seemed to know stuff in advance, but no, she never explained why.
Would you say Miss Colossi and yourself were friends at that point?
Oh, yes, good friends.
This surprise you felt, did you feel any anger toward Miss Colossi?
I don't recall.
You don't recall feeling anger about Miss Colossi reading your thoughts when she'd represented that she could not read your thoughts, and suddenly she was inserting herself into your love life.
I guess I'm having a hard time recalling, as it seems my love life is better for her involvement. I mean, I got the guy. Love you, Pheeny, so dreamy.
As charming as that is, you didn't answer the question.
I did. I said I don't recall.
All right, I am done. Done with this witness.
Oh, so soon?
Dr. Soleil, you may step down. Next on the witness list for today is Mr. Truman Guthrie.
My goodness, she's fantastic. She did great.
Ashley, that was incredible.
Gosh, that was fun. Think I could do it again?
Can I be like you when I grow up?
No, thank goodness. But happily, you can be my favorite ever, like you are now.
Oh, thank you. Topic change.
Hey, you two? Truman's up.
Mr. Guthrie, how long have you been associated with the Federal Reclamation Center?
I was first a survivor in residence. Now I am a junior advocate in training with shadow clearance.
What does shadow clearance mean?
That I'm allowed to shadow advocates during sessions and even conduct sessions with survivors on a limited basis.
Very good. And who was your advocate when you began residence at the center?
First, Sonia Jarrett, then Phoenix Soleil.
Do you recall a session of yours when you met with Dr. Colossi and Dr. Soleil?
Yes, that was my first meeting with Dr. Soleil.
And what occurred at that meeting with Dr. Colossi?
Dr. Colossi shared information about bonding, about Miss Jarrett's missteps regarding my case, and then Dr. Colossi conducted a thorough analysis of my heightened receptor status.
I yield my time to Senator Gold.
Thank you. Were you given the option to have someone else conduct your analysis?
Yes.
But you opted to accept Dr. Colossi's offer to conduct the analysis?
Yes.
Why is that?
I trusted her to do so.
And why is that?
Because the time I had spent with her until that point revealed that she was cautious about boundaries. She also showed respect for my needs through the use of advocate best practices.
For example?
She is the first person to ever explain the line of consent in a way that didn't make my heightened gift the enemy.
Thank you. I yield my time to Senator Daniels.
Mr. Guthrie, will you please clarify the reason you trusted Miss Colossi that you just stated about her boundaries and respect? Was that the only reason, or was there another reason that you trusted her?
Yes, there was another reason.
And what was that?
Because I was able to read her thoughts.
I see. So you are also a telepath?
Only under extremely limited circumstances.
Such as?
I'm still learning about my gift, but it seems there are a limited number of people I can read, and limited situations in which I can do so.
But you can read Miss Colossi?
Yes.
And you believe that's worthy of trust?
I do, yes.
I would like to offer into evidence recording 158, block CCC. Begin playback.
Do you mind if I push past your block?
I have a block? For real?
Yeah, it's well developed. There.
Oh, so that's what that is.
Yes. Will you let me try to get past your block? You can say no. I do think my training will allow me to control the confidential information. I'm confident I can.
How do you know you can?
Truman, I'm going to share something a little tricky. It's confidential to me. Something about me I'd like you to not share with others. The other person in this story is deceased now, so I feel comfortable sharing this with you, but it'll prove it to you that I can do this.
Okay.
I was assigned to a war crimes encampment during college, and I met a couple of other telepaths there.
Persephone? You never told me that.
I never told anyone. One man was sentenced to the encampment because his empathy gift allowed him to steal intel from the other side. With that intel, he caused a lot of suffering and death on our side. His grief. It was tormented and horrible. He didn't want to let me close for fear he'd force me to see everything he'd caused. But eventually he did. I saw his grief, and I saw that gift had been exploited by the commanders.
Persy, you got this?
Yeah, Phoenix, I promise I'm okay. We can do a session later if you're still concerned. Truman, it cost that telepath, that man, a lot to trust me. But if I can help him navigate that grief while keeping everything else confidential, I really think I can help you. I really think I can block the information well enough.
Your pain is really deep. Even with the block, I can still feel it.
Oh no, I'm really sorry.
End playback. Who was the voice on the recording, do you know?
Yes, that's me.
Let the record show that this falls outside the Victim Identification Act. Mr. Guthrie has chosen to identify himself.
So noted.
During this time, Dr. Soleil seems surprised to find out that Miss Colossi has met other telepaths.
It appeared that way from the recording.
And what thoughts were you reading at the time of this recording?
I would like to confer with my attorney for one moment.
Please do.
Do I have to answer that?
Yes. However, you only have to answer what is asked. Specifically, minutely, what was asked. Get it?
Got it.
Get him.
On it. None.
I'm sorry, what?
None. No thoughts.
You heard no projections during this time from Miss Colossi?
No.
I yield my time to Senator Everett.
Were you uncomfortable with the admission from Dr. Colossi about her past?
At first, yes. But when I understood her point, I understood her intention.
Did you understand her intention to be favorable? Or favorable to you specifically?
I was clear that she was present for the survivor, for me, specifically as the survivor. That she was trying to build a bond in a short amount of time.
Thank you. I yield my time to Senator Gold.
You say you believe that she was trying to build a bond in a short amount of time. Why do you believe the time was so short?
Are you asking for my expertise as a junior advocate or my experience as a survivor?
As a junior advocate.
Best practices and the combined years of experience between the co-directors and trial team have shown that survivors have a limited amount of willpower before they will want to contact their abuser again. Establishing a bond with the survivor helps replenish that willpower and gives the survivor much needed relief from the addictive outcomes of the conditioning they've experienced.
So Dr. Colossi had a limited amount of time before you would try to contact your abuser if she didn't establish a bond.
Yes.
But if you had attempted to contact your abuser, wouldn't the rehabilitation team have prevented such contact?
The danger is not in the contact itself. There's a success ratio associated with the very attempt to contact. Research suggests that survivors who do not even attempt to contact their abuser have shorter healing times. The actual contact isn't the issue.
Thank you. I yield my time.
Mr. Guthrie, is it your belief that Miss Colossi was acting in your behalf when she told you that story about the telepaths?
Yes.
Can you support this practice of revealing personal information with any guide or training from the center's own policies?
I cannot, though there is no guideline against...
Why would something not be included in the best practice policies or guidelines if, in fact, it would be helpful for a survivor's healing?
Well, I'm certain that there's nothing in the guidelines about not poisoning, and yet that wouldn't be helpful for healing. I'm certain of it.
An oddly specific example. Perhaps you could share then. Are there any references to personal information in the guidelines at all?
Yes. Advocates are trained how to dampen and even conceal personal emotion during session.
They've trained to engage in such a deceptive practice? Why is that?
Because an advocate's emotional response might be sensed by a high-end empath survivor.
Such as yourself?
Yes.
And that's what happened at the end of the recording when you indicated you could feel Miss Colossi's pain.
Yes.
Were you aware of the best practices at that time? That advocates are guided and trained to What? Block their emotions? As you indicate in the beginning of the recording?
No, but if you'll list...
Oh, no need. I'm just curious about how it is that you felt that pain at all with the guidelines in place.
I suppose it's because I'm a high-end empath.
Surely you could speak to your mindset as Miss Colossi was telling you about her experience. Did you question her motives at the time?
Yes, at the time.
Ah, I see. I yield my time.
Are there any further questions for Mr. Guthrie at this time?
None from me.
Just one more from me.
Please ask it then.
Mr. Guthrie, if any other advocate participated in concealing a telepathic gift, told personal stories during sessions, allowed their personal feelings to run rampant during sessions with fragile survivors, and didn't abide by guidelines they themselves wrote, would you recommend that they be allowed to continue as an officer of the Reclamation Center?
I'm not sure I'd categorize...
It's not up to you to categorize. It's up to you to answer the question.
Within the limited scope of your description, I would recommend that advocate be removed from their post for a time.
Thank you. I'm done with this witness.
That concludes our agenda for today. We are breaking over the holiday and will return in 1 week's time to continue with the next witness.
Truman, wait.
Hi.
Are you all right?
I will be.
I owe you an apology. Mycroft's right. I never should have revealed such horribly personal information like that, let alone so quickly.
Nope.
What?
I'm not going to let you do that.
Apologize?
No, vilify yourself. I've been getting all those thoughts, the thoughts about him and whether or not you deserve this because of some stupid mistake you made when you were young or when you were trying your best or when it was a Thursday. You're human, and you're allowed to make mistakes. Now stop setting such a horrible example for a junior advo.
I don't want to get into...
Listen, you made mistakes. All of us do. But it's not the mistakes, Persy. It's how you handle the mistakes. You've owned up to everything again and again, and you've put better guidelines in place, and you took yourself off my case so that I could get the help I needed. Daniels is limiting the scope to make you look so bad. What would you do if someone was doing this to Sonia or Pheeny or me?
I'd get super angry.
Yep, set that example, okay? This sucks enough as it is. I need you to show me how to do this, because in our line of work, Daniels isn't the only one who's going to try crap like this.
That's a good point.
Good. Yes, it is a good point. I need you to show me. All right, try this. If you could walk me step by step through how to survive a very public, very unfair emotional flogging from a malignant narcissist, what would today's step be?
Today?
Yep. He was legal in there, yes, and he was brutal. And now I need to see you survive it. I need to see an example of you choosing to fight.
Okay. The step would be going to grab a bite to eat and joking with each other about how stupid young we all sound on that recording, and then making a plan to be the best damn lobbyist after I leave the Haven.
I'll do the first with you, but the second, not on your life, because I don't give up that easy.
Oh, right. You're a healing warrior.
I leave the warrior stuff to Sonia. Me? I'm a gardener, and I know what trees need to survive the harshest conditions.
All right, then. How about Comey for dinner?
Tasting menu?
Is there any other menu there?
I'll call Pheeny and Ashley. You call Addie.
By the way,
Yeah?
I've got that example you're looking for.
Yeah?
Truman, the way I know I've done anything good in this world is that someone like you gets paired with a job like this. I can apologize for the things I've done wrong without vilifying myself, which I do, I apologize. Because you deserved better. And I'm going to do better moving forward. And you deserve to know how impressed I am with you.
There. That's more like it. And I'll accept that apology.
Good. Thank you. And I think we should call Sonia for dinner.
Deal.
Hey, it's Persy and Pheeny here. What you've just heard is a work of fiction, but we know that many listeners are living in a world of pain that isn't fictional at all.
At the end of every episode, we're going to include an appendix of sorts. Some things we hope will serve those who live with the reality of fear and pain every day.
First, we want to let you know about our website, www.empowering.tools, where we keep an ongoing list of books, websites, hotlines, and many other resources for victims and survivors of toxic relationships.
Second, we love to hear from you. If you'd like to share your story with us or let us know how the episode impacted you, we'd love for you to reach out. These are deeply emotional things, and we want to give you a chance to share. We're a small team, so an in-depth response isn't always possible, but we do read every message we receive.
Third, if you're in crisis or you need to find an immediate way out, please call 800-799-7233 for the National Domestic Abuse Hotline. If your abuser is a parent or a non-romantic relationship, there are other resources we've listed on the website that are just for you.
A reminder, emotional violence is still violence. You don't need to have bruises on your body to deserve help, and it's okay to feel what you're feeling when you call.
Fourth, be safe. For some, getting out will take planning and time. If you know you need help, do what you need in order to safely get away.
Lastly, we know how difficult it can be to believe there's hope on the other side of a toxic relationship.
Many on our team know the devastatingly difficult steps it takes to get away from an abusive predator.
But there is hope. You don't have to do it alone. If you don't have supportive family or friends, you can still find support at the hotlines we mentioned earlier or at a local hospital or shelter.
Thousands of survivors have made it out. Getting out and reclaiming your freedom can be your story.
We believe in you.
We believe in your future.
And we believe in your right to that freedom.